Peace. Today I'd like to talk about some more of my spiritual I will say encounters and experiences. Alright, so recently I astral projected on a whole nother planet. And what made me know it was another planet is because it's the people that I seen, they didn't look like the ones I see today. They don't look like the people that we see today. Okay, it was like a whole nother race. Alright, and the trees were huge, they were gigantic. But anyway, what I saw, it was very disturbing and depressing. For some reason, I could actually feel the sickness of the planet, and I could feel the pain and suffering of the people. Like it was a drowning feeling of sorrow. What I noticed was that this planet was on the verge of dying. And when I observed these people, they were all sitting with their heads down. And I noticed that it was all men. They were sitting like in a booth. It kind of looked like a restaurant, but I know that it couldn't have been a restaurant. But it gave me the idea of a restaurant as far as like being on this planet in today's society. But anyway, as I was observing these people, I was looking at them, I was like, damn, these look like black people. But they look like a new race. Let's just say if we would take a Mexican and a African American and cause them to mix with each other. That will produce a whole nother race. This was the race that it looked like. The only difference was these people had a glow to their skin. They had a goldish look to their skin more than anything. It was kind of a vivid goldish look. And they all had like straight hair like a Mexican would have, though. That's the only difference. But I could tell they was another race of people. And as I kept on like walking through or going through, I was just moving through, observing. It was more like, at first it was more like a remote viewing, but I found out that it was more than a remote viewing. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But as I was observing the environment, I noticed that there was a bunch of dead bodies on the ground. And I could feel the pain and suffering coming from the people. Like literally, it was like I was drowning in it. The pain and suffering, it was killing me on the inside. And I noticed that it looked like it was mainly women that had died. Although I saw men too, but the ones that I saw still alive were none but men. And as I was looking at the vegetation of the planet, I seen these big ass trees. The vines were huge, but they looked like they was on the verge of decay. And it dawned on me. I said, damn, I'm on a dying planet. This planet is actually dying. And these people looked hopeless. Like they didn't have no hope. She was killing me. So I said, I gotta do something. And as I was moving along through, I said, damn, I hope I remember this shit when I wake up. I kept telling myself that, like, I gotta remember this shit. You know, I want to tell people about this experience. That's what I was saying to myself. And I said, I gotta do something though before I leave here. I gotta at least try to do something. And it was just based off the pain and suffering I was feeling from these people. So what I did was I grabbed the vine, big ass vine about the size of a normal human arm, and I started sending love through my astral form. I was sending energy through my astral arms, and I noticed that my astral arms began to light up. I could see like my arms, like I could see like literally light. My arms started turning, look like light was going through them, and this energy was flowing through my arms, through the vine or whatever. Shit, that's what it was happening. And I could see the energy just pouring in the vines. And I said, shit, my job here is done. So, the next thing I remember is that I was going through my door, my room door, and I felt something push me. And I remember getting, like, going back into my physical body, and I woke up. Now, if anybody can relate to that, if they have experience of people going through that, an environment like that, a planet like that, make a comment or something. Because I'm yet to really fully understand it in full detail, what actually was taking place. I have my ideas, but I'm not sure exactly what was taking place. But anyway, I had another encounter. This was like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe two or 3 years ago. And I was laying in bed, right? My daughter was laying beside me, and when I woke up, this is no bullshit. I don't care if y'all believe me or not. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to share my experience. Maybe somebody can relate to it, because somebody somewhere have experienced this shit too. I can't be the only one on this planet. But when I woke up, when I looked at my daughter, I could literally see right above her head cartoon characters. Shit sound crazy, don't it? I'm telling you what I saw. Alright. I put that on my life and my death. I know what the fuck I saw. And I don't smoke. I don't do no drugs. I don't drink. I'm a vegetarian. So what I see, I see. And when I looked at it, I said, God damn, am I hallucinating? This shit was going through my head, through my mind. So I started doing like that, rub my eyes and shit real good. And I could still see cartoon characters above her head. And I saw damn Bugs Bunny. Looked like he had a poker sack on his shoulder. And he was walking with it. He had a carrot in his mouth, and he was biting the motherfucker. And every time he was walking, he would grab a carrot out the ground, and he'd throw it in the croaker sack. And then he'd grab another one, throw it in the croaker sack. Then he grabbed another one, but when he pulled it out, it was another cartoon character. I think it was Donald Duck. And when he pulled it out, he said, "What's up, Doc?" That shit was so funny to me, man. I was laughing my ass off. So what I had witnessed was the dreams of my child. My child was literally dreaming of some damn cartoon characters. So if anybody know about telepathy, pictorial telepathy, where a person can be thinking of something and you're literally able, because of your third eye is open, you're able to see exactly what they're thinking. Okay? So this is what I had witnessed. Alright? So I know it sounds far-fetched to y'all that have no understanding of third eye vision. Alright? Some of y'all, y'all just don't understand this shit because you have yet to experience it. And because you have yet to experience it, you dismiss it because your mind can't grasp the idea of something like that, because all you know is your day-to-day life and what you've been programmed to believe. Now, some of us, many of us, are ego-based, and a lot of us think we know it all. But shit, I know I don't know it all. This is why I like to read books, because whatever I may have lacked on, or whatever I may have experienced and didn't fully understand, someone else may have went through that same process, but went through it for a longer period of time to where they can understand it, and they may have put it in book form. This is why we must study, because we are all fragmented when it comes to knowledge. All right, so we must become one unit and learn from each other. So anybody that feel like they are a master at something, that ain't nothing but ego. Because a real ascended master won't even consider himself a master. A real master won't even say he's a master. All right? And there are real masters. People like Simeon Toko, Saint Germain, Sunat Kumara. These beings could materialize, dematerialize, freeze stuff with their mind to where you can't even move. Okay? They have power over the elements. The water, the wind, the fire, the water that's in you. All right? The wind that's in you. Shit. They have this type of ability. Those are real masters. When you can master the elements, when you can master your emotions, when you can master your thoughts, all right, that's a real master. Shit, when you can raise your vibration and lower your vibration and witness any dimension whenever you feel. Because every dimension is a certain vibration. And if you can do that, you a real master. And these masters, ascended masters, they have no ego. They don't even consider themselves a master. All right? And they are nothing more than us in the future. So when you see one of these beings or you read about one of these beings, you're actually reading about your futuristic self. You're reading about you, yourself, as far as your higher self, or what you should become, or what you will become in the future. All right? These are aspects, these beings are actually aspects of our higher self. All right? They are aspects of our higher self. But I thought I'd share this video. If anybody experienced some of this stuff, don't hesitate to comment. Because I know I can't be the only one that have experienced this. Also, I would advise y'all to read the book by Richard Strassman. It's called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. Within this book, Dr. Richard Strassman, he puts these volunteer of patients up under LSD, and this causes that pineal gland to secrete DMT, and it puts them in the spirit realm. And they all have the same, like 80% of them have the same exact encounters with these cartoon characters. So these cartoon characters really do exist on a dimension, whatever dimension that is. All right. Otherwise, how could people even come up with the idea or concept of a cartoon character? If not, it's not real. And they all claim, these people that were up under this LSD that produced DMT in the pineal gland and put them in the spirit world, they all claim that they learned great knowledge from these cartoon characters. It's called DMT, the Spirit Molecule by Richard Strassman. Check it out. All right. So I'm not alone, apparently, when it comes to witnessing these cartoon characters. This shit is real. All right. And I don't know why it deals with children, but for some reason, cartoon characters, they are linked to children. I don't understand why. There is a tie to it, though. For some reason, because if you notice, we all notice that children love cartoons. And when I saw that shit, I knew that it was something to that. And I literally, again, I saw my daughter's thoughts. I literally saw them. Third eye vision, baby. But until then, peace.